Good morning, everyone. My name is Joshua Pamustan from BEd 1A, your host.
And I am Tanya Jane Ramos, also from BE Ed 1A, your host.
And welcome to and You Self Show. Hi, partner. How's your day and how's your mental health?
I'm kind of good partner. How about you?
Not that good, but partner, in this real world, we need to fight and fight.
Oh, Joshua, I'm so sorry for that. I hope you'll be fine soon.
Thank you, Tanya. But, partner, I'm so glad about our topic today, which may help about my mental health, which is
Psychological perspective of the self. Wow, partner, so interesting. Can I ask, partner?
sure, what is that?
What is psychology and self?
Partner, pero wait, nag-ready ako dyan.
Oh,
Sabi nga nila, I was born ready. So, psychology is a scientific study of mind and behavior. Also, it is a understanding of a person, and the therapy is the way of helping people understand themselves. So, psychology is about your mental health, your behavior, and your brain function. And in addition, psychology has a huge impact in today's generation because there's a lot of people who suffer in their mental health, like depression, stress, anxiety, and more. So, with their help partner, it will lessen the amount of people who still
mm-hmm.
suffer with this. Um, in self-demand partner, it's a matter of understanding yourself and how people see you.
Wow, partner, ready ka.
Siyempre. Pero wait, partner, hindi pa tapos. Meron pa akong idadagdag. You know, Tanya, psychology of studying self is about cognitive and affective.
Sir Josh, wait lang. What is cognitive and affective?
Okay. Cognitive is focusing about mental process like critical thinking, problem solving, and decision making. On the other hand naman, Miss Tanya, affective focus naman on the emotions, values, and attitude. Did you learn something?
Yes naman, Sir Josh. Pero partner, syempre, hindi ako papatalo dahil
Ano?
meron akong baon na dala.
Sige
And
nga.
this is where we talk about the self and its selves. According to a psychologist named William James in his document named The Principles of Psychology, tayo ay mayroong marami at iba't ibang pagkakakilala sa sarili. For him, the concepts are the me-self and the I-self. Sa myself, ito ang kahanga-hanga at ang nakararanas ng iba't ibang sitwasyon. The I self refers to what you have known to yourself.
Partner, parang narinig ko na yung I and me. Di ba na-discuss na yun ng napakaganda nating STN, napakaganda nating professor na si Ma'am Mayume and Ma'am Puno, right? The I and
Yes,
me?
yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, let's end up partner. Pero partner, meron ako nabalitaan. Meron daw tayong in-invite ng mga psychologists. Is it right?
Of course, partner, meron yan, meron.
So let's welcome our psychologists. Please give them a round of applause.
This psychologist will give us insights about our topic for today.
Wow, interesting partner, ah. Partner, can you introduce our first psychologist?
Of course, sure, partner. To learn about subcategories of the self and itself, let's welcome Miss Leilani Yabut.
Hi, I'm Miss Leilani Biabut, and to our interviewer, sir, good day. Today I am going to share the three categories of self and its selves. Let us first go with the material self. This one focuses by our body, clothes, family, and home. It is where we are more attached or invested in this kind of things. Since we are invested in this kind of things, anything or everything that happens on these things may affect ourselves or our life. For example, your family or maybe your friends get sick. Of course, there might a chance that you will get sad because you know that you care for them. You are invested to them. So you will feel that kind of feeling. The next one is the social self. Basically, from the word itself, social, it means interacting or interaction with other people. It says here that Our behavior, the way we communicate or present ourselves to other people, depends on who we are dealing with. For example, personally me, when I am with my friends, I can freely express myself because I'm not afraid of being judged. I feel really accepted. I am careless, I am more extroverted, I am more jolly. But when I am with my family, I'm being extra careful the way I act and communicate because I'm afraid that they might judge me or they will have bad reaction towards me. I act the way they expected me how to act. So that's simply that yung communicate or pakikipagkasalamuhan natin is nakadepende siya kung sino yung mga kausap nating tao na iba-iba yung pagre-represent natin sa sarili natin depende sa nakakasalamuhan natin. The last one is the spiritual self. This is actually the most intimate. This is we have the ability to make moral judgment. This is where we feel our conscience. This is where we are aware of our wrongdoings. For example, in this coming exam or finals, you are planning to cheat. But since you are aware and you have the ability of judgment, you know that that is wrong, so you will feel concerned, so there might be a possibility that you will not do that anymore because you know that that is wrong. So that's like simple judgment, and those are the three categories of self and itself.
Oh, that is very informative, Miss Leilani. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Lailani, for that informative and clear explanation. And for our next psychologist that will give us a knowledge on conception of self, let's welcome the beautiful psychologist, Miss Ashley Nicole Gonzad.
Hi, good day. I am Miss Ashley Nicola Dunsad, a psychologist, and I believe in Carl Rogers' conceptions of the self that he used for his clients, which is the person-centered therapy.
How come, Doctora, you believe in Carl Rogers' person-centered therapy?
Because I believe that if a person is honest with themselves, they will know how to solve their own problems. And also there is a saying that if a person knows the root of the problem or what is the problem, then half of the problem is the solution.
Partner, may tanong lang ako sa'yo.
Sure, partner, ano yun?
Are you honest with yourself?
Hmm. Not all the time, partner. Not all the time I'm honest with myself because sometimes I force myself to be happy or need ko mag-pretend sometimes, alam mo na,
Mm. How do you deal with your problems? Like, do you deal it with your own?
always. I'm dealing with my problems on my own. I always think for any solution para ma-solve yung problem ko nang walang naaabalang tao. Kaya yun.
Mm. So, Doktora, any advice on how we can solve our problems?
We can solve our own personal problems by completely being honest with what we feel. We must be fully honest and not be in denial because by truly being honest, you know that we can discover more into ourselves.
Okay, Doctora. I think Carl Roger has three sides of self-concept. And it is the three sides of triangle, right, Doctora?
Yes, there are three sides of a triangle in Carl Rogers. The first one is the perceived self, where it is the self-worth or how the person sees herself or how others sees them. In the perceived self, this is your physical body or your body image or what others think of you. Like for example, you look into the mirror and what you see is yourself, right? And the next example is how people sees the physical you, like compliments or criticisms about you. Like when people say that you are so handsome, you're so pretty, and you're so smart. And the next one is the real self. The real self is the self-image and how the person really is, or who you really are when you are alone. And the real self is accepting what you have, like your insecurities. And the last one, which is the ideal self, is how you want you to be. We all have this ideal self and a person in our mind who we idolize about their actions. And for example, is we have this ideal man. We want a man tall, generous, confident, and gentleman. But not only in men, but we also must have an ideal self for ourselves because we can improve ourselves or see our future by creating an ideal self. And that's all. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Miss Ashley. That is so impressive and informative. And now, let's proceed to our next psychologists. Let's give them a round of applause, Miss Geraldine and Miss Michelle.
Hello, I'm Geraldine Beatriz de Jesus, a psychologist, and according to Daniel C.W.'s 2016 article, Psychoanalysis versus Postmodern Psychology, he emphasized how Freud perceived a person as a unified being and Jurgen's concept of multiple self. Unified self, also known as the unity of our mind and our heart. Multiple self is known as the how can you adapt or adjust in every situation you face. In addition, we will discuss the ID, ego, and superego. ID is a pleasure principle that is instinctual of the mind that contains sexual and aggressive drive. Example, speeding in heavy traffic or beating the red lights. For the continuation of this topic, we will have Miss Michelle to discuss ego and superego.
Hello everyone, I am Miss Eusebio and I am here to discuss and continue the said topic. So, superego. What is superego? Superego, this is the part of our mind that tells us or makes us aware, the voice of conscience of doing what is right and what is wrong, based on the principle or values that we learn from our parents or to our teachers. For example, a guy named Joshua knew he can cut classes and no one would know about it. He knew that cutting classes was wrong, so he decided to not do it even though he knew na wala naman makakakita sa kanya. Kahit gawin niya yon. And that is super ego. Dun pumapasok sa utak natin yung konsensya kung tama ba or mali yung ginagawa natin. This is the last one. Ego. Ego is the realistic part of the human mind. It is the personality responsible for dealing with reality. The ego is the realistic part that mediates between the desires of the ID and superego. Example, if a person cuts you off in traffic, the ego will prevent you from chasing down the car, physically attacking the offending driver. Freud has stated two important divisions of mind. The first one is conscious. It is defined as human awareness. We are aware of the thoughts, memories, feelings at any given time. For example, you are feeling thirsty, that's why you drink. The second one is unconscious, basically the opposite of conscious. These are the thoughts that we are not aware of. It is like a servo of feelings, thoughts, urges, and memories that outside of conscious awareness. Example, memories or feelings that are too painful.
Freud argued that self has multiple parts, and we are unified beings. Ego that serves as guide of superego and ID to keep it balanced. But for Jurgen, he argues that an individual has many potential selves, that it is up to him what he wants to define self.
Wow, thank you for that impressive explanation, Miss Geraldine and Michelle. To add more to that topic, let's call on Miss Kate.
Hi everyone, I am Kate Poblete, a psychiatrist, and I believe to Kenneth Jurgen that says having multiple selfhood is healthy and a part of human's life.
Why do you agree that it's healthy to wear masks? Multiple behavior depends on the environment you live in.
In my opinion, yes, especially if you are more comfortable of having multiple selfhood or multiple behavior depending on the situation or on someone you interact with. And besides, it is normal and a part of human's life, like what Ken Georgian said.
Being conscious or unconscious in all situations. Through it, you will know what will be your next outcome. You will be aware of your decision making.
Is it okay to experience both negative and positive in order to grow up?
Yes, definitely. Through experiences, we could develop our personality, as like what Erickson said, during each stages of our lives, we encounter lots of circumstances, or what he called crises, for us to grow.
And last question, Miss K. Do you think the feeling of success is a big help in order for you to achieve healthy personality?
Yes, it will be a huge help to our basic virtues, as we all know whenever we achieve something, even if it's big or not, we can feel the proudness within ourselves. For example, you are one of the dean's list, of course, you will feel happy and proud, and in that way, you will gain more confidence, and that would be healthy to you as an individual.
Thank you very much, Miss Jerilyn, Miss Michelle, and Miss Kate for the information that you've shared us. Let's now proceed to the next psychologist that will explain the 8 stages of psychosocial crisis. So give a round of applause to Miss Christine.
Good day everyone, especially to Mr. Pabustan and Ms. Ramos. I am Dr. Christine Ibe, a psychologist, and I am so excited to answer your questions today. What are the 8 stages in Erickson's psychosocial development crisis? So first we have the trust versus the mistrust, autonomy versus shame, initiative versus guilt, industry versus inferiority, identity versus role confusion, intimacy versus isolation, generativity versus stagnation, and lastly, the ego integrity versus the despair.
1.
So, Miss Christine, what happen if you or we don't complete Erickson stages?
Most people who don't complete the stages of Erickson's may feel strong regret and loss. They feel unproductive with their life. They also sometimes feel dissatisfied and depressed towards something. But when we successfully completed those 8 stages of Erickson, it can result in a healthy personality and acquiring of basic virtues.
So impressive, Miss Christine. So, let's proceed to our next topic, Miss Tanya, which is true self and fake self. That will discuss by, again, Miss Christine and Miss Janice. So, Miss Christine, what is true self?
So what is true self? So true self is about the real us. Kung ano yung tingin natin sa sarili natin na hindi tayo nagbe-base sa sinasabi ng iba about sa atin. It is not on how others perceive us, but on how we perceive ourselves. Dito din pumapasok yung on how we became confident with ourselves, on how we became true or real with our body, with our identity, behavior, and personality.
Ikaw, Miss Tanya, are you confident with yourself?
Yes naman, partner. Ako pa ba? Bongga tayo eh.
Yes naman, partner, dapat ganyan. Palaban tayo lagi. Kasi ayun yung sinabi ni Miss Christine, right? Doon mo daw makikita yung true self mo. I hope na lahat ng makakarinig dito ay mahanap na nila yung true self nila. Thank you, Miss Christine. And now, here is our last but not the least psychologist that will explain the fake self. Let's welcome Miss Janice.
Hello to everyone, especially to our interviewer. I'm Miss Ogo Janice, MA Psychologist, and I believe to Albert Banduras for active, energetic,
He believes that through our agency, we humans are perceived as proactive agents of experiences. Through these agents or agency, we humans play a big role in our self development, adaptation, and self renewal.
Miss Olga, what does agentic really mean?
Albert Bandura, who published The Social Cognitive Theory, an agentic perspective, described agentic people as self-organizing, proactive, self-reflective, and self-regulating as time change. Encouraging agentic behavior can be achieved through the design of the learning environment. Empowering students with choice and a personalized learning environment will encourage them to self-manage and take responsibility for their learning journey.
Miss Ogao, do you know the four human agency features?
Oh yes, thank you for asking that. There are four features in human agency. These features are intentionally, forethought, self-reactiveness, and self-reflectiveness. Are they? So the first one is intentionally. Intentionally, we humans plan things intentionally or we do things intentionally. With doing this, we wait for possible outcomes. We make our plans or actions and decisions with the basis of our intention in life. We as humans are interested in different things. We make ourselves interested in the things we do, therefore acting with our intentions. Second one is the forethought. It may be happen in the future. On the other hand, enable us to anticipate the consequences of the things we do. We expect different expectations, therefore we likely think better before we do or make decisions in the future.
Third one is the self-activeness. Involves making choices and choosing appropriate courses of action as well as motivating and regulating them. And the last one, the self-reflectiveness, gives the person ability to reflect upon the adequacy of his or her thoughts and actions.
Miss Olga, can I ask, what is fake self or false self?
Fake self or false self, or relying or contradicting the original sense of self. Problem would be, or we might build false set of relationship through concealing a barren emptiness behind an independent seeming facade. The function of the false or fake self is to hide and protect ourselves. Most of the time, we are putting on a mask, complying with our teachers, colleges, friends, parents, or loved ones. Is it true that we do this sometimes, just to accept ourselves? Oh, yes, we mostly do that. But always remember that someone loves you. He or she will accept you no matter what you are, no matter what we are. Just be yourself and be proud of what you are. Acknowledging both your unsolved sides like insecurities, fears, as well as your strengths or weaknesses. As a result, you will connect back to your inner voice, which knows and always has known what is best for you and the people around you.
Okay, okay. Wow, grabe talaga Mr. Joshua. I've learned so many things in our topic for today.
Yes naman, Miss Tanya ko din. That's why I'm so thankful and grateful for those psychologists that we invited in our show na talaga naman nagbahagi ng kani-kanilang kaalaman.
I'm also thankful for those who are watching this show. Again, I'm Tanya from BE Ed 1A that leaves your quote, you don't have to struggle in silence.
And I am Joshua from BEd 1A, saying that happiness can be found even in the darkest of time if one only remembers to turn on the light. And this is about you, and you self show. Goodbye!